Hi, I'm Angelette, Realtor and broker with Empire Realty, and I'm popping in to give you a few quick tips on what you can be doing right now to get ready to buy your home. I know we got a lot of crazy things on in the world right now, but this too shall pass. And when we get to the other side of it, your desire to own your own home or your own investment property will still be there. If nothing else, this coronavirus situation will have taught us that we cannot rely on a job, that you need to be independently financially stable. And I can't think of a better way to do that than to invest in real estate. So, what can you be doing right now? Well, there's a few things. First thing you need to do is, make sure you have a job. All things created equal, you need to have a job, unless, of course, you're paying cash. So, if you're still working, you need to have worked at least 6 months on your job to qualify for a loan. And there are different type of lending opportunities out there, and we can totally get you with a mortgage broker. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole right now, but just know that you have to have a certain amount of time on the job. So keep working, stay steady, do what you need to do to maintain the job, because there are qualifications as it relates to the time on the job. The next thing that you can do is prepare for what we call closing costs. There's going to be a cost associated with actually closing the deal, and that is a cost that's relative to the buyer's side. Now, we can get into asking the seller for closing costs and all that other stuff. I can definitely help you with that. But right now, we want to focus on what it is that you can do. So, what you can do is save your money. There's a bucket of money that you're going to be required to come to the table with for closing. There's also some other things like home inspections. You want to hire a professional to inspect the property to make sure that you're aware and satisfied with the condition the house is that you're going to purchase before you purchase it. Now, that is what we call a contingency, and I can write it into your contract. Nevertheless, it is a cost that you're going to be responsible for. So that can range depending on where you're located, but somewhere between, depending on the size of the house, somewhere between $200 and $500. Just put that aside. Now, the other bucket of money that you're going to be responsible for is your closing costs and your appraisal. Now, what is an appraisal? An appraisal is a report card of the home's value as it relates to whether or not it meets the value of the purchase agreement. So how much is the home worth? Fair market value of the home. And does the home actually meet the dollar amount that the agreement was made out for or agreed upon? The contract was agreed upon. If not, there's some negotiations we can do. If so, great. If it's more, it's even better. But the point is that the cost of the appraisal will come from the buyer's side of the deal. And that, as well as the inspection, that is something that happens before we get to the closing table. So those are funds that you're going to have to set aside. Now, what does the appraisal cost? It can vary. It can be upwards of $500, maybe a little more. So just go ahead and decide in your mind, $1,000, maybe $1,500, put it on the side. Okay, so you're going to keep your job. You're going to put $1,500 on the side for appraisal and for home inspection. And then what? What else can I do? Well, what you can do to prepare for your home is you can determine what kind of home you might be interested in. What are your needs? As your real estate agent, this is something I need to know. I need to match your needs with the houses on the market. And if what you need is not relative to what's actually on the market, what's going to happen is you're going to have to decide what you can live without, or what you're going to wait for. That's what you need to do. You need to make a list of the things that you absolutely cannot live without in your home, and the things that you'd like to have, but will be all right. Now, the other thing you need to decide is what area you want to live in. Because I can do a lot of things, but I can't change the areas, right? The house is where the house is located, unless, of course, we build. Now, if you decide to build, we can work that out for you as well. If you're interested in pre-existing homes, I can do magic, but I can't do that one. So what you need to decide is what area you're interested in living in, and what type of home you're interested in living in, and what are your absolute I cannot live without items. Now, that is going to be relative to your budget. So the next thing I need you to do is stay open-minded. You have to be aware of what it is that you can afford and what you cannot. Because when you make your list, if it's outside of your budget, it's outside of your budget. Now, what you can do in the meantime, you can always bring money to the table. So for instance, if you qualify for a certain dollar amount, however, the home you want is more than that, you can always bring that difference to the table. So we go back to the first move, right? Which is the second move, which is saving money. So you want to save for what may come up, but you also want to save for what you might want versus needs. So if you want it and it's there and you have the extra funds, you can always bring those to the table and we can make this deal happen. So I just wanted to pop in. I will be popping in often. I want you to know that I'm here for you. If you have any questions, you can always find me at Empire Realty LA on all social media streams. My name is Angelette, and I am your real estate mentor. I'll be back. You guys take care.